It is a great honor and privilege and pleasure to say hello to the one and only, the inimitable Commander Dale Brown of D.U.S.T, aka Detroit Urban Survival Training. Hello, sir. How are you?
Excellent, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a pleasure this is. It's a real pleasure. You're out of your uniform. It's casual, Commander Brown, today. Oh, you got the UFC gear on. Look at you.
UFC.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I have a ton of questions for you. I actually want to go to the moment where everything changed, because to the best of my knowledge, Commander Brown, you have been doing this for several decades. You have a background in the military, a former paratrooper. You have a background in martial arts. We'll get to all of that. You have videos dating back years. When do you go viral? What happened? What changed in your life to allow you to become this viral sensation?
It was mostly my wife. She was uploading on a schedule, just like structure. And then I think that she, the way she would link the, on TikTok is our first connection with viralness. And essentially what she did was she connected different links to our videos. So for the first time, I would just upload for the past 10 years or 12 years as when I started the YouTube channel. And I just uploaded videos to make sure that people could see we're real. So my original point was to upload videos of my organization so people could see it's a real organization, and that it's not, for internet. It's actually a functional school that trains people to defend the community, and all people in all communities. So essentially, I wanted to make sure there was a way that people can look us up and be able to find us in real life, so they can see us actually training. So you actually see training videos that go way back, and they're not Hollywood or internet type videos. These are videos that show raw training, people failing, people trying, people not getting it right and getting it right. So it's not. I wanted to make sure that people know it's a real school, real training center with a real purpose, which is also why you see videos of testimonials from police officers that we trained that saved their lives, lives of others, and domestic violence victims and stalking victims that we protected for free, no money whatsoever. Court witnesses, people that are crime witnesses, we protect for free. And you got a chance to see us out in the field actually protecting people. So I put all those kind of videos up there so they can see we're just not a school. We're a school that actually goes out and protects people in real life. So that's the real reason I put up videos in the first place. But the viralness first came because a organization called copblock.com came to my school and asked to ride along with us in the communities, showing how we protect communities. And also see our training system, to see why we're not having deaths, why we're not having accidental deaths, why we're not having lawsuits, why we're not having prosecutions, and how we're able to create safety for communities. So that's our first time we went viral, is with this one video from copblock.com. And that was because a guy named Pete came out, did this video, put it out there, and we got 60,000 likes of positive comments, just amazing feedback. And then for the next decade, libertarians have been flying me around the country to freedom organizations, talking about how they like the fact that we protect people in real life. They considered our training and our system for private policing. And it's really not private policing. It's just creating conditions where we stop violence from occurring and we stop violence from continuing. Then we use policing. We actually contact the police so that they can prosecute people when necessary. But we specialize in stopping that. So the confusion came from libertarians and anarchists thinking that this was an organization that was replacing police, when in fact we're just working with police. But before they get there, 9 times out of 10 things are solved. And that's, if you get there fast enough, you can stop things from happening. Also, if your perspective is that. So we're not competing with police. We help police when they're there and they need assistance, and they help us. That's for public safety. And that's been for 26 years. So wow. I started in the 90s dealing with stopping home invasions and murders. And that's how we got started, was literally stopping poor people that couldn't afford any services or anything, stopping them from dying, from being killed, from being home invaded on the east side of Detroit. And then it just grew from there. So it really comes from just helping people and creating safety using our training system. Without our training system, I wouldn't be here now. And, none of our team members are dead. Thousands of families are being protected right now in Detroit, 24 hours a day by our team members. And our training is the reason why we're successful. So the first viralness was actually before now.
Wow.
This new viralness is off the charts. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
It's positive but bizarre.
It feels like the last few months, everything has changed. Like you have reached a whole other level. Like when you see a guy like Odell Beckham mimic you in an NFL game,
Right.
what is going through your mind? And you've been doing this for years. Now all of a sudden, everyone knows who you are. Odell Beckham in an NFL game is mimicking you.
Right. That's crazy. I never heard about Saturday Night Live right before that.
Yeah.
So I look at my wife wakes me up Sunday. She's like, "Hey, look at this." And I look at it like, "Oh, he morphed his face with mine for this video." And I was like, "Hey, that looks like me, but that's not me." on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
2 days later, Odell Beckham is doing this our gun disarm in the end zone. I'm blown away. And I'm honored by both. Let me say that. This is amazing. It's positive. I can't believe the positivity I'm getting from, so many people everywhere around the world. This is unbelievable.
What's the coolest byproduct of all this newfound fame that has come your way? Someone who's reached out and experienced, what comes to mind?
The greatest thing I think is to see the demographics involved. There's so many different people from so many different places. I was just in Vegas, as you know, with the UFC with Buckley. And it was amazing to see as we walked the strip, as we went places, to see how people responded. They were, every language, every demographic, older, younger, mostly males, but also females and husbands and wives and kids. And it was amazing to see whole families. And some of them don't speak English, but they were like, "Oh my gosh, can we take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Of course, if you want."
Yeah.
To me, it just seems, like strange because I can't believe that they want to take a picture with me in the first place. But, if that's what helps to get the word out there, the comedy that I was doing with comedians, if that's what makes you look, if the fun parts of this makes you look and learn about gun disarms, not disarms, learn about psychology and law, and how you can use the understanding of psychology and law to create safety in your family, in your community, in your corporation, your country, then I'm proud to be able to share what we learned through bloodshed, unfortunately, over the past 26 years. And my goal is to get training centers everywhere, so people everywhere in every city, every country can have a pathway to learning how to create safety safely. The things that we now know after 26 years of learning through bloodshed, heuristics, actually trial and error, what worked and what didn't. And the things that didn't work, I stopped teaching as we're dealing with active shooters, gangs, and people that are trying to kill us and others. So we had a chance to, really try the training. We're really glad to be able to bring it out there and save more lives. So that's the whole point of all of it.
You have an extensive background in martial arts, correct?
I would say I have a very varied background in martial arts. I never committed to any martial art. What I did was I would go around to different martial arts. I would train there humbly, respectfully, of course, and I would meet with the instructors, and I would get with them after class to focus on self-defense. Often martial arts is focused on several things, one of which, first and foremost, is sharing with you, inculcating you into their esoterics of their community origins of their training system, which is not what I was interested in. I really just wanted to know how to defend myself if need be. And I was really interested in the actual methods of dealing with real life situations like guns and knives. So every art, I would always ask the instructors, the senseis, to share with me their knowledge as relates to this subject, knives, guns, and extreme conditions, baseball bats. And I want to see what different, whether it's Japanese, Korean, Chinese, or American style systems, or I never came across a Brazilian system as a youth or as an adult. But I would have gone there if I could have. And if there was Krav when I was growing up, I would have went there. Now I have Krav instructors, I have Brazilian instructors that work for me and that are part of our school. So I got a chance to see their thought process as well now, but I would have infused it earlier if I would have known more about their systems. So I really meld them together. What really makes it totally different than any other is that we tried it in real life. And so if you use your training in real life in situations where you're dealing with attackers, not people that are trying to get away from you, but people that are trying to kill you or try to kill someone that you're protecting, then you have a different perspective on how techniques work, especially when they're out of your weight class. They have weapons, they have lots of friends, what we call gang members, or you're dealing with multiple aggressors. So it changes everything when you change those parameters, including the fact that most importantly, you're dealing with someone in a life and death situation where someone wants to kill you, which is a different kind of energy, a different kind of purpose. And as a result, the system that I teach had to evolve from what I learned, which was, different types of martial arts, which was not specifically for life and death situations. And then I had law. So law for me became the reason why I wanted to teach in the first place, blending together firearms training, that's pistol, shotgun, rifle training with your baton, your knife, standing up, fighting on the ground, standing up, takedowns. Why couldn't you go to one school to learn all those things? And that's what we have to do in real life. In real life, you have guns, you have knives, you have to fight standing up, you have to fight on the ground, you have to fight inside of a car, inside of a small space, you have to fight multiple aggressors in real life. So why is there no school that focuses specifically on how to do those things and then legally do those things? So I created that school when I realized as a private investigator that the law is not as we see it written. It's an opinion based upon circumstances and conditions that are changing and evolving and can be manipulated. And traditionally what happens if you don't understand the law, you can't articulate it properly when you're attacked or someone else is attacked. And as a result, the way the police officer and the witnesses make statements and write down and document what happened determines everything about what happens in your life. So what I teach specifically is how civilians can, first and foremost, use psychology to create peace by understanding how to read body language. But after that, you also have to know the law. What can you do legally? What can you say? What should you not say? What should you not do legally in these different time periods under these different circumstances? And as a result, the overall objective is to make sure that people are making the best decisions for them and their families so they can not create conditions where they get prosecuted or sued, or at least reduce the likelihood of the prosecution or the magnitude of it, as well as the lawsuits. So our goal is to make people have a better quality of life through knowledge. That's what we call intelligent options to increase survivability.
Now, I was looking at your background, military background, paratrooper, read about your martial arts. Correct me if I'm wrong, you have never been a cop, right? And if that is accurate,
No.
Why not? Because it seems like this is something that you're interested in. Why did you not go the route of becoming a Detroit cop?
Because for me, what I wanted to do was be a teacher. I wanted to empower people with the ability to protect themselves. For me, law enforcing, although it's necessary, it's not something I would like to be involved in. So we don't law enforce right now. We are not in the law enforcement industry. We are in the protection industry, and as an industry and as a purpose of life, we're in protection. So we don't care if people pay or not. So I protect people whether I get paid or not. They don't have to have any money to get protected. If someone's trying to kill them, and we have a system for how we determine that, prosecutors send people to us, shelters send people to us, domestic violence units send people to us. And of course, now people see us in the media and they contact us when people are trying to kill them. So there's three things we do for people. That is, we give them training for free. If they're working class people that are in danger, we just train them for free. Poor people that have no money whatsoever, we still train them for free. And that's if they have no actual provable threat condition, but they believe they're in fear. So we want to help them any way we can. And then if there is actually a credible threat, then we provide them with physical training and escort services to and from court. And if the person is a high-level threat, we'll physically, go to their home or help them escape. We, help rescue people from situations that are extreme conditions, as well as hiding them from violent individuals or gangs by finding places to hide them, hotels and other people's homes. Get them to their relatives' homes. In some cases, helping them escape areas and then get to the airports and get out of the state. In one case, for example, a woman was being held hostage as a sex slave against her will in this house in northern Michigan, way out in the country. She escaped. She got to a women's shelter. That women's shelter is the only shelter in the region. So this group that's a armed group of men here in Michigan, they knew where she was, and they told them that if you keep her in this building, if you keep her at that house, it's supposed to be a hidden shelter, but everyone knows the shelter. They said, we're going to kill whoever is at that house and take her anyway. So we go out to 3 hours from Detroit and go rescue this female. We take our team of men and Hummers and go out there and rescue her and take her to the airport. And she flies home to Florida, where she's from.
Wow.
So what we do is protect people. And, that's different than enforcing laws. Although, we focus on how laws work. Our goal is to make conditions where laws aren't being broken in the first place. So that's a whole different industry.
So as you know, when you reach a level of fame, which you have now reached, and especially in the MMA community, a lot of people want to poke holes in what you are doing. And this has become a thing with the MMA fighters. They're, let's be honest, some are mocking, some are saying this is silly, this doesn't work. How do you react to that? How do you react to people saying the stuff that you have dedicated your life to several decades is now being used as, the butt of a joke, something that, fighters are mocking?
Well, I can tell you from experience, anybody that's serious, that's real, knows that this is not anything to mock. They know that life is serious. They can tell that our training is real. Those individuals that are mocking are also the people who will not go out and take on gangs and protect people. They'll never leave the safety of their training facility for sport application and go out and literally put their life on the line to protect others for free or otherwise. They're just not going to do that. And they're definitely not going to do it in a city like Detroit or any other place where people are extremely in danger from violent criminals or gangs. That includes country towns where bikers are going to, do something. Those same guys that are talking trash about our training aren't going to use their training to go defeat bikers to protect some lady or her family or some, man in his family from bikers. They're never going to do that. They could do that, but they're not going to. And that's because they know they would be killed. And there are people being killed that are highly trained in different types of arts and sports. And so that is a real thing. That's why the purpose of our training is to help everyone. Doesn't matter if you're trained in different martial arts or sports. We want to share with you the knowledge that you would need to decrease the likelihood of you being killed and to decrease the likelihood of you being incarcerated or sued. And these are things you can't learn any other way other than through bloodshed. And so that's why our training is so unique. That's why it looks different. A lot of these people that are talking are people that they've never even been in the street situation where they had to survive, where they had to actually defend against an actual killer. And that's what we specialize in. So imagine that would be like me looking at sports and criticizing sports techniques, which I do not do ever. You'll never see a single post from me or a comment from me criticizing a sport technique in a sport because I don't do sports. So, it's amazing to see guys, go in there and be able to exert, choke, punch each other, and able to stay inside that sport mindset and not, reach inside and grab eyeballs, rip out throats, bite holes in the aggressor, that's the person that's actually attacking them. And even when they're being choked, they're still not doing things that would seriously hurt the other person because they're that disciplined. And that's amazing. I mean, that takes a lot of discipline to allow someone to choke you and not to do something that can seriously harm them. And these fighters are like that. They have great discipline like that. I would never have that discipline. If I felt someone's choking me, I'm definitely going to be doing things that take away the ability to see, breathe, and stand permanently. And so that's because in a survival scenario, there is no referee. No one's going to rescue you. There's no one's going to stop. Like once they choke you out, if you were to fall out when you're in the street in a survival scenario where people are trying to kill you, if you were to go out, there's no one to resuscitate you. There's no one to get the guys off you. You will probably be killed while you're sleeping. So that's why, it's a different mindset. And so when you think about these guys that are criticizing, these are people that also won't go out and, volunteer to go protect people for free against actual violent situations. We wanted to, the first weekend that we saw people were not getting water and protection in Hurricane Katrina. I took a team of men there that first weekend. So there was no satellite communication, no nothing. For you to do that, you would have to have a lot of training, a lot of skill set, and you'd have to have a lot of knowledge in order to mount a mission on your own to go down there. And if you didn't have that, you would not survive. And that's just a storm situation. And then in general, there's no way you can be in Detroit or any other place that's dangerous and protect people against violent threats without extreme skill set. And you're going to be bleeding. You're going to be shot. There's going to be shootings. It's America. We have guns and knives here. So if you're planning to go out and protect people, which, I would like to say this, if you do believe in your training, there's nothing wrong with going out, putting yourself at risk. And if you die you know it's a noble death. You're protecting people that need protection. So you're going to get hurt, you're going to get injured, you might even get killed. And that's okay as long as you're protecting people that needed protection from violent criminals that are attacking them. And that's a noble death to me. So to me, the purpose of my organization was one thing, which was to keep people alive and safe. And so I was willing to die and kill for that. And as a result, you had to go through a lot of life and death situations. And so the point is that if you want to do that, that's something anyone can do. And I would ask you to do that in Brazil, in the United States, in Japan, in Korea, in China, wherever you live in the world, India, Africa, any country, in the 54 countries in Africa, please use your skills to go out and protect people. Instead of, using your skills to, perhaps do sports or only sports, why not take time out to volunteer to protect domestic violence victims? There's women being killed all the time, and they're being killed by husbands, ex-husbands, boyfriends, and sometimes just men that like them. And they'll get out PPO. They need your help serving the PPOs, which is something we do for free. And then they are going to need extraction services. You're going to need to help stay there and physically help them get out because the man is going to kill them for trying to leave. Or in some cases, they're actually coming there to kill them after they've tried to kill them before. And there's PPO against them, but the guy's still going to try to kill them before they have the court date, which is going to put them in prison. So there's lots of ways you could use your skills, and you get a chance to use them for a noble purpose, which is keeping people alive and safe. And I would ask that anybody out there that is feeling like they want to really push their skill set to please do that. Go put yourself at risk for others, protecting them from being killed, from being abducted, from being, stalked. I mean, there's actual situations where wherever you live in the world, wherever you live in this country, especially, there are people that need your help. So please feel free to contact your local police department, your shelters, domestic violence units, and just let them know, hey, I'm willing to volunteer to help protect these. Normally it's women, but not only. We protected men, we protected entire families from people that want to kill them. And these are just innocent people that need help. So what I would say is, please do that. It's a great feeling when you rescue people. It's a great feeling when you keep them alive. There's no better feeling in the world. So, please consider that as opposed to finding ways to challenge fighters and challenge people to fighting. Focus on, using your skills for those kind of purposes. You'll love it. I promise.
How did you feel about being in Joaquin Buckley's corner for a UFC fight? He admitted he was trying to get some attention. You're someone who's very much talked about right now. You're not his coach. You're not a trained MMA coach. Did you feel weird being there? Did you feel like, how would you describe the experience of being there for a UFC fight?
Oh, not at all. I didn't feel strange at all. He came to my school. You can see the videos online, and he came to test the training. Mm-hmm. He did not come to hang out. He came to test it, and there was no discussion other than, hey, I'm going to come by and see if the training's real. So he did, came by. He felt it was real halfway through. It was halfway through. He said, you know what? Wow, I didn't realize this training was real. And then after that, 2 weeks later, it wasn't immediate. It was like 2 weeks later, he called back and asked if I'd be willing to, be a corner man and share knowledge and bring what we have to the table to assist. And I absolutely did. So, most of my training you can't use, obviously, in sport. Right. But there's some aspects of it. There's some techniques, some small things that we shared. And there's also psychology. The huge part of our performance is based on psychology. So survival psychology is really important in any endeavor. So he was able to get exposed to our survival psychology in that setting. And I think that's really helpful, especially in that fight he was just in. It was extremely important psychologically to be prepared for that extreme fight he was in. It was extraordinary. And he pulled through.
Would you like to do it again?
Oh, sure. If he wants me to, absolutely. I'll do that for him. Yeah, I'm there for those. He's got the greatest coaches. Those coaches are really good guys, down to earth, but they're also tactical. They have, they're very technical. They have a lot of strategy, and those strategies were being used in that fight. So let me be clear, they are putting in a lot of work, and there's a lot of structure there. There's no fly-by-night thing there. Also, people don't know this, but Buckley, Joaquin is the one who put all this together. So let me be clear about how amazing this young man is. Okay. First of all, I didn't realize all this. Okay. I learned this, after getting to know him better, but he's literally a genius. This not only did he learn his training by watching videos, he has no master. He is the one who trained him for fighting before he went to overseas and to Abu Dhabi and did the kick that made him infamous,
Yes.
where he jumped in the air. I thought the guy, amazing, 20 million views on that one kick. And know that he had no coach before that. He had no one training him before that. Think about how amazing that is. Then he goes to Abu Dhabi on his own and does this. I mean, with no coach.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then he's got great coach now. So he's going to be even better, is my point, ultimately. But he put together this idea of bringing me out. I didn't know whose idea it was. I talked to, them. They said it was his idea to, the whole thing. So he was really adamant about structuring the training as well as seeing if it's real first and my facility, and then putting me on as his cornerman. So it was an amazing experience, super positive. All the fighters were extremely professional and very welcoming, excited.
Yeah. I saw
Jim Miller was very.
Yeah, he took a picture with you, right?
Yeah, he came up to me and said, would you like to, would you take a picture with me? And I was like, absolutely. All the UFC want to take a picture with me. I'm like, yes, anytime.
That's amazing.
And I didn't know who he was though. I was really honored when I found out who he was. I was like, wow, this is like the greatest guy ever in UFC history. That's amazing to me. And it was quite an honor. His coach took a picture with me as well. And his coach was like, hey, we're fans. We watch your videos and, we love it and outstanding. So, the fact that they are fans of the videos is for me, it's humbling.
Before I let you go, I'm just curious and thank you for this. It's been great learning about you and understanding where you come from and why you do what you do. And you're an absolute credit to that community and to everyone. What is the next step for you now? Now that you've garnered all this newfound fame, where do you do we go out of Detroit now? Do we go into different neighborhoods? How do you grow D.U.S.T?
Yes. Well, so Detroit Threat Management Center is the parent company.
Yeah.
Detroit Urban Survival Training is the school that I created just for growth, for just the school itself. So not the community service side where we go out and protect people. Essentially, the goal is to take Detroit Urban Survival Training facilities, get them in every city, state, and country so that people can go to a place and learn the tactics, the same things that police officers are learning and civilians are learning in the same place here in Detroit. We want to make it so police and the public train together and learn these how to use psychology, law, and skill wherever they live in the world to create safety safely. So our whole goal is several things. And the most important thing is we're teaching people how to create non-adversarial interactions so they can create non-violent outcomes by design. And the only way you can do that is by understanding psychology, law, and skill in that order so that you can create what you're looking for, which is a better quality of life for everyone. And I want to say this, the way you do that, first and foremost, is remember that what's most important is that you don't look at people as an enemy, that you love people. You will always love, protect, and love people if that's what you love. So you cannot properly protect anything you don't love. And we as human beings, we will always protect what we do love. So we, in general, love of people is the key to protection of people. And what really fuels you is love, not hate. So you need to find a way to find people that really care about people in order to protect people. And if you want to, make a better life for people in general, let's work on protection, because protection is the foundation of everything. There's no college, there's no healthcare, there's no nothing without safety. And that safety is prevention, not prosecution. So what we do is specialize in how to teach people how to create conditions where you can stop violence from occurring, stop the rape, stop the robbery, stop the murders, and stop hijackings of trucks, which is what we do for the past 26 years.
Amazing.
So in our 26 years, none of us are dead. More importantly, none of the people we've protected have been killed. And so that's what we're most proud of, is that we've been able to provide something that is needed. And our goal is to take that everywhere around the world through the training system by empowering people to be able to do that for themselves. So I thank you for this opportunity. And we look forward to anyone contacting us if they want more information on the training and how they can incorporate it. Please look us up. Detroit_D.U.S.T is our Instagram, and Detroit Threat Management Center is our YouTube.
I salute you, Commander Brown. It's great. We need more people like you. And I'd be remiss if I don't ask. I mean, can I get the famous line and the eyebrow and everything? Can I get that?
Detroit Urban Survival Training. Intelligent options. Increase survivability.
I love it. I love it. Well done, sir. Well done. Keep it up.
Sure.
Thank you for what you do. And it was great to see you involved with the UFC event on Saturday. Thank you so much for doing this. It was awesome.
Thank you for this opportunity to share. Thank you.
All right. There he is, Commander Brown. And thank you to his wife as well